We've seen how we can sort and filter the data so that we're not using the whole data set inside our mail merge document, but as well as being able to do that, we can also search through the data and remove any duplicates where necessary. In any sales set of information or marketing information as we have here, there is a chance of duplication, and we'd like to reduce that duplication because we're playing for two lots of stamps otherwise. So let's take the special offer _ready file and go into edit the recipient list. These are my recipients, and I can search through that list of recipients if I'm looking for a particular individual or types of individual by choosing the Find Recipient option. Now I can search in all fields for the value that I type, which might be Mary, and I can then choose Find Next, and you can see behind it then jumps to that particular record, because I then might need to decide whether I deactivate it or not. Find Recipient, and then I can find the next Mary, and it's Mary in her email address, which is not quite what I was looking for. So if I restrict which field it can look in, then it will work much more efficiently. Mary in the first name field is found Miss Sunny, Mary Mrs., and then there are no more entries that contain the text you type. Click Find Next to see the same entries again, so it will actually go through the whole list again. Miss Sunny, Mrs. Mary, and that's it, there's only 2. So I can search through this list in any of the fields for any value that I like. I may be looking for Leeds in the town field. And it jumps through and finds each one. If it stops at the one that I'm looking for, I then cancel my Find Entry box and then decide whether I'm deactivating this person from my list. Now, as well as being able to find recipients, it can find duplicates. So if I click Find Duplicates, I'm presented with a screen where Word feels that these recipients are potentially duplicated. And I can see that as I scroll across, they are pretty much duplicated. The only difference between them is their ID. So rather than send 2 letters to each person, I can deactivate from this screen the ones that I don't want to go. So now only one John Franklin will receive a letter, only one Verily Stringent, and only one John Happy. Okay, and I'm back in my list, and I should see that there are a number of deselected people. There they are at the bottom. Those 3 are deselected, so they're the duplicates. So I have the ability to find duplicates in my data and therefore exclude them, and also find particular recipients that match particular addresses. Now there is even the ability to validate your addresses against US software. However, that requires a further download from Microsoft's site and potentially a further cost depending on which service you choose. If you click this option here, you'll need to install address validation software. If we say yes, it will take you to the Microsoft site, giving you a number of validation software tools to download and pay for. I'm going to say no. At the moment, that validation option is only available for US addresses. So here we've seen how to find duplicates, extremely useful for cutting down the cost of outgoing material and finding particular recipients so that you can then decide whether you exclude them or not. I'm going to say OK. Any changes you've made to that recipient list, so any removals, is reflected in your document, and we should find we only now have 49 recipients to send to.